What's good?
You know, Monday morning quarterback.
Happy Monday. Happy overreaction Monday. Happy good to see you. It's been a couple weeks.
Absolutely. You went away for a little while.
Yeah.
Yesterday? No, last week, I mean. No.
Yeah, it was pre-recorded. Kind of pre-recorded.
I mean, good. I mean, football sucked yesterday, so.
Bro, I was thinking that when I was watching the games, how that would have been the perfect weekend. You know how like we mess around sometimes and we say this might
Go have brunch with your girl.
Yeah, go and see the missus on a Sunday after all these weeks where she doesn't expect to see you on Sunday, right? Like, hey, babe, let's go some shopping, holidays.
Whatever.
All right, let's go get some brunch. Maybe even see the pets and the family too. Well, in my case, I don't have a girlfriend.
I was going to say the Christmas tree or something like that.
No, yeah, you can go to Rockefeller Center, right? But what'd you think? You didn't like the slate yesterday?
Nah, I mean, I hit some bets, so that helps. Helps make Monday a little Baylor men's basketball.
Okay.
They smoked Villanova yesterday. Under 51 Cincy San Francisco. Titans money line. That's a Vegas Dave bet.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you throw it in with 5 or 6.
Well, be careful with those big favorites. That happened a lot in the UFC over the weekend. Amanda Nunes was like minus 1,100.
Pena beat her, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people, you tie big favorites and big parlays, you expect, it's going to be easy, man.
Yeah.
Nope. Just be careful.
That
is a Vegas Dave pick, though.
They were like -7.
Yeah, yo, I'll never forget one time. So this dude, Vegas Dave, I can't stand him. I don't like him.
Never pay for picks.
Never ever pay for picks, man. It's different if you pay for a informational service, meaning like
like it's data analytics.
Yeah, like if you're into PFF, right, and that's helpful for you. Yeah, I'm with that.
There's also like a lot of sports betting models and shit.
Yeah, or like the Action Network.
Yeah.
Right? Shout out to Action Network, former sponsor of the show. But I'm a pro member over there because it gives me information, and then from there I process it and make my own decisions. But I've never, ever in the life of me paid someone to give me picks. Like, I think that's corny. You have the same information that I do.
Yeah. And
it just defeats the purpose, especially if you're paying $500 for a pick and they tell you, yeah, you know what?
On Thanksgiving, Dallas money line.
That ended up losing, too. But there was one year when Lamar won MVP. I think they played the Jets on a Thursday night football game. And he said, "We'll play Ravens money line." It was like -12. And she's like, "Yeah, no shit. My mom could have told me that."
Yeah,
never made a
look
bet.
at the biggest favorite on the board and put the house on
congrats.
that.
Go on though.
No. That was it. That was it. It was 5 bets 5 bets hit 4 out of 5.
I picked a bad week to go over mega contest.
Yesterday was the favorites. All the favorites covered, right? Or not covered, but
11-2 against the spread were the favorites. 12-1 straight up. Just a super. The books got crushed though, because we've talked about in the past how anytime it's a heavy favorite weekend, usually sports books do bad because the favorite always, especially when they're covering, right? Like imagine if you picked. Chances are, if you picked 5 favorites yesterday to cover the spread, they all covered comfortably.
It's 11-2, right? In total.
Yeah, and think about some of those public teams too, right? Packers, Chiefs. Why am I blanking right now? The Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh, the Bucks backdoor cover.
Backdoor cover by Tampa Bay.
Crazy
also.
Backdoor.
Yeah, there was a couple of them too. Like the Ravens had a crazy backdoor cover, but that was the only dog that covered.
Okay.
Actually, in that scenario, Washington 6.5.
That was crazy.
27-20. Dude misses the PAT. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, my buddy had it at 7.5.
Oh, that's good.
He bought it. I think it closed. He got it at. I think it was at 7 or 6.5, and he bought a point.
Yeah. It closed in the mega contest for me at 6.5. Dude, I was 16-4 the last 4 weeks, 5 picks against the spread. I talk about this on the Patreon all the time. And 0-4 yesterday, man, brutal. I jumped like 14,000 spots over the last month.
And then now
I gotta wait for it to update. But I was top 800, top 500 places. You win some money back. It was about $150 entry. But fuck, man, what a terrible week.
You want to jump in?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Where you want to open up with? You lead the dance.
I mean, I would just say the Thursday night game. I read a wild stat on the Vikings that if Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
If the Vikings, and this is obviously like a stretch to say, but bear with me here. If the Vikings had not given up any points within the final 2 minutes of either half, they'd be 12-0. Now, I know that's like a little bit of a stretch, but I think what that showcases is their kind of an inability maybe in crunch time, or not crunch time, but this team could look a lot different if they played a little bit better in some of these like high leverage situations. Maybe not 12-0, but you know.
Well, they're
6-7 now.
Yeah, them and the Colts. Colts are on a bye, but them and the Colts are the two teams that when I look at the record, I'm like, damn, really? How come I feel as if they're better?
Yeah.
Would you agree? What team's record, when you look at the standings, right? If I pull up the standings right now, whether it's good or bad, are you shocked by their record? Because, bro, I feel like there's a couple of teams in the league.
To me, I have a no-brainer, the Saints. Look, Jameis gets hurt. Trevor Siemian comes in that game out of relief, and he looks great. That's the Mike White backup week.
Right.
They're in the hunt. They're in the playoff graphic. They're in the hunt.
Well, that was the team that I said most likely to fall out.
Absolutely, the reasoning was great. Yeah. I think what happened was Siemian looked good for a half or 3 quarters. They said, you know what? This is good enough for us 3-4 weeks, maybe until Taysom Hill comes back. And it just wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And they probably misevaluated how good Trevor Siemian was based on that crazy week of all of the backups, right? Mm-hmm. They're 6-7. They just take care of the Jets. With a wild NFC, I think that's a team that they're better than their record indicates. Their defense is a lot better than people thought the entire season.
Yep.
And now with Taysom Hill healthy, Kamara's rolling again. I think the Saints are a team that, you know, by the end of it, they'll be on the inside. And their record is 6-7, so I think that answers your question.
Well, for me, staying in that division, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like, I texted Alan, I was like, bro, you guys are 6-7. You know that? He's like, yeah, I know. It seems like it's all doom and gloom down there, but I was shocked. They took care of Carolina yesterday. Look, Carolina, Cam, 11 straight losses as a Panther.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
I mean, Joe Brady's gone.
Yeah.
He's going to go get a college job.
Yeah, he should, too.
I think that they did him a favor. I don't know if he resigned or he quit, but they either did him a favor.
It seemed like very...
Because they knew he wasn't going to be back next year.
Yeah, this is very extreme, but like Tom Coughlin resigned, but it was more of, yo, man, can you resign so we don't fire you, save you from the embarrassment? Yeah. Obviously, Tom Coughlin, more cachet, more credibility with the organization, but I do feel like they might have said, hey, man, you know, you want to just resign?
Yeah, make it look better.
To make it, you know, leave on your shield kind of thing. Atlanta's a team whose record shocked me. I thought it'd be worse than what it is.
Okay.
A team whose record is better than what I thought it might be is Tennessee. 9-4.
All the injuries,
all the craziness. Like, Ryan Tannehill looked pretty okay to me, just knowing that he has Julio Jones out there. Look, Julio only caught 3-4 passes. I don't want to get too extreme. Once again, dude broke my heart because he was 5,400 on DraftKings. I'm like, oh, this is the
too low. You got to buy it, right?
Gotta buy. But Derrick Henry might be coming back. That's a big thing for him. We talk about that all the time.
To me, just get him ready for the playoffs.
Yeah,
because they're gonna walk into the division. No,
are they?
Maybe not walk.
I think that might come down to the wire. Big game this week. Looking ahead, you got Colts Pats. That's coming off the bye too. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Congratulations.
I mean, which video do I go back and put on my highlight tape? Is it the Patriots-Bucs Super Bowl pick before anyone thought? Was it Pats win the division, but Bills don't? Bills don't make the play.
Mac Jones.
Which Patriots take?
The head-to-head with Allen too.
Yeah. Yo, I mean, dude, I want to talk.
Go to hell, bro. You only text me whenever I'm down. So I got so mad at you yesterday. First of all, backstory. So Impy texts me when the Perriman TD goes down, and he texts me.
All I said was
Buffalo Soldier.
And that's a Bob Marley song, and it's referencing a South Park episode.
So I got mad at you because I was like, ? And then literally 5 seconds later, I see the play. Because I'm delayed. I'm about a minute later because I'm #HowCheap and I don't have cable. So it streams a little later. And I was like, bro, I tell you every week I'm delayed, you fucking bitch. I went off on you. I was like, you only hit me up when I'm down. It'd be your own. You're like, my text has nothing to do with what happened.
All I said was Buffalo Soldier. You could have taken that in so many. Yo, not for nothing. If I got a text that said Buffalo Soldier, I would think Buffalo did something good. Like they're soldiers, like there's like bunch of soldiers, or he's just I don't know. I don't know why I did it.
Yo, I'm never on my phone during games because like the group chat will go crazy, the DFS chat with the guys.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, crazy play, and then I see it, I'm like, oh fuck, man.
You want to be surprised,
especially when it's primetime. When it's a primetime game, on my phone during the commercials, because then at least when I see it's a commercial, I know they're in a commercial. Then we could chat it up and whatnot. But hey, man, look.
Thank you.
Congrats on the Pats calls.
Titans 9-4, Colts 7-6.
Mm-hmm. And it's really a 3-game lead
because of the tiebreakers.
Because of the tiebreaker.
That's why I said I think they're kind of gonna walk in, but at the same time, anything could happen.
Yeah.
Have you been watching the Colts Hard Knocks in season?
I love it.
I heard it's great. I haven't watched a lick of it.
I've watched certain parts. After the 5-touchdown game that Taylor had, I know one of the running, I believe it was the running backs coach. He was like, dude, I've coached LT. I've coached Warwick Dunn. He named like a bunch of legends, good legends, not, VM legends or our legends. And he said, yo, he might be better than all those guys. He's like, raw, like talent. Well, I'm talking, he's like, we're not, because anything could happen in that position, but just based off the talent, the complete package, he might be better than all those guys.
He would have broke the college record, if he played another year, right? Or
he was putting up monster.
I know he left early or something like that, and he could have broke every record in college.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think
Colts are another team, man, whose record surprises me. I feel like they came out the gates very slow, but they've been hot. They've been hot. They came out, I believe it was 0-4 that they started, and now they're 7-6. They're in the thick of things right now. Yeah, I'll tell you this. I wouldn't want to play them.
No, ball control offense. It's tough. Good defense.
Yeah, good
ball control offense.
They play tough. They got some weapons now.
Yeah.
Like Hilton back in the lineup. Look, he's no longer the TY that we grew accustomed to, but he is a threat. Wentz is finding him. Pittman,
number one.
Doolin.
Yeah.
Just like 2-3 deep shots a game has connected on like 2 of them. They're an interesting offense, man.
Yeah.
You got Hines out the backfield too sometimes, even though Taylor's becoming way more dominant like across the board. That's a team I wouldn't want. Like, if they play the Chargers in the playoffs,
they may not be able to win a shootout.
No, but they'll be able to put up 900 yards on the ground against them.
Got it.
So that's a team I wouldn't want to play. And also with this theme of teams whose records surprise me, whether good or bad, Colts another one.
Yeah. Can they win a shootout? And look, I hate that. I hate even asking that question because I don't think they can win like a 40-35 game. But like if they got to score high 20s, obviously they can do that. I guess that my only concern about the Colts in terms of the cream of the crop is can you trust Wentz, 4 wide receiver, obvious passing situations? Can you trust him against the elite defenses? Because making the playoffs, I think they're a playoff team. Like there's, to your point, we were talking about it off air. There's levels to this shit, right?
Yeah.
They're a playoff team.
Yeah.
Now, are they in the upper echelon? Can they, win late in the season? Can they throw when it's obvious downs? Those are the things that I'm curious to know about. But I'm with you.
Wentz has been balling this year, man. Like 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 63% completion rate.
Yo, and the crazy thing about some of those picks, I think 2 of them were very bad, and they were in the same game.
Yeah, and also it seems like he's such a big turnover machine because those interceptions are so gross.
They're in big moments,
it's
or they're
like
just bad.
You're on the goal line, you're throwing a fadeaway with 2 guys on you, lefty.
That one, and then there was also the one in overtime that he threw, like double coverage.
Yeah.
It was in the same game.
And then there was also in the Ravens game, or it might have been the Niners. I remember vividly it was a primetime game. He goes to do like a shuffle pass that gets picked, but then they ruled it incomplete. Like, they ruled it a fumble.
Got it.
Then they overturned it. It was incomplete. Like one of those. Like, he just does some dumb shit still. But, yo, man, look, Pittman, gonna be a 1,000-yard receiver. You know who's been balling, bro? Kenny Moore.
Yeah, great slot corner. I was talking about that with Alan, I think, on the day we did the preview. I said he's probably one of the best slot corners in the league.
Yeah, and he's getting like Pro Bowl recognition too. And look, the Pro Bowl to me, it's like are you a Pro Bowler in the sense of like, are you deserving of being a top player?
You're in the conversation.
Yeah, it's a fan vote, but yeah, to me, if you became a Pro Bowler, like that means you had a really good year. And by the way, the Colts started 1-4. I said it was 0-4. They started 1-4.
Yeah, and their first 5. But that was I feel like everyone thought that was going to happen.
It was a tough stretch. They played the Rams. They played the Seahawks.
And we talk about that with the injury. So,
give me another team. One more team before we move on to actually breaking down the week. Is there another team whose record surprises you? Whether good or bad?
I mean, I thought there'd be more drama. I can't even say that because I think I was going to say Green Bay. I thought there'd be a little bit more drama, but I was really high on that roster as a whole.
Well, we kept saying the whole time how
the team is good.
Yeah, like if you're
why are you complaining?
Yeah, like if you're Aaron Rodgers and you want to go elsewhere, let's not pretend that you're the Jaguars, bro.
Yeah,
like the Packers are stacked.
Yeah, and I think now more than ever it's showing. Yeah, like as I mentioned to you before, like Aaron Jones goes down, AJ Dillon steps up. I remember that one primetime game they were down to like Randall Cobb. Not for nothing, that was the guy Aaron Rodgers said go out and get. So you win on that one, but it's the system. You just fucking replace and go, man.
Yeah, you're talking about that Thursday night game against the Cardinals where all
no Lazard, no Adams,
no MVS.
You
the best Tonyan in that game too. I think that's when he blew out his knee.
And they still kind of figured it out. So not only are they extremely talented, but I also think they're very deep too. So credit to them. Even on the offensive line, there's just every week it seems like it's another guy that goes down. So I mean, considering the offseason, I was high on the roster, but I will say, like, I'm surprised, that they're 10-3, and you can make the argument that Rodgers should be the MVP.
Yo, it's hard to argue against that with Rodgers being the MVP. Question. Yo, it seems like it's going to be Brady. He's the favorite. His numbers are off the chains. Am I crazy for thinking that he's not really playing as an MVP?
Last night's game, I think, gave you the perfect snapshot into why. So I'm going to read you a Chris Sims tweet. At this point, the precedent is that the MVP goes to the QB with the best stats on the best team. And I get that. Tom Brady has a better MVP case than Josh Allen. But watching the Bills-Bucks game yesterday, you could tell Allen was the best QB on the field. I don't think the NFL does a good enough job of taking into consideration like how much is on each quarterback's shoulders that wins the award. Like Lamar was extremely deserving that year because he had over 1,000 rushing yards in addition to probably 35 to 4,000 passing yards.
Yeah, bro.
Leonard Fournette, if he was on the Bills, he'd be their second best weapon. He's like the sixth best weapon on the Bucks. Just like thinking tight ends, wide receivers, running backs. Stack Leonard Fournette up against the Bills. Where is he? Second, probably, right?
Yeah.
Behind Diggs. He's like on the second hand of the page of the Bucks. Brady, first in yards per game, first in touchdowns, first in completions, first in wins. Everything on paper should suggest that he is the MVP, but I just think his team is so fucking good, man.
Yeah.
And
well, there's a lot to break down there, right? Because this essentially has been the same team before he got there too, with the exception being Leonard Fournette and like Antoine Winfield Jr.
Well, no, and the stud they drafted in the first round.
Right, the
offensive lineman.
Oh yeah, Wirfs. Yeah, Wirfs. And then even this year they drafted that kid that Allen was talking about last show, and it's like, yo, he's getting no attention because it's like Vita Vea and JPP and Barrett, and then the two linebackers. It's just when they take that next leap from like, yo, you get this team, you bring in Brady, you also bring in Gronk and AB too. So maybe the more you're talking about it, it's like, well, nah, this isn't exactly the same team. Look, he's had 5 interceptions in the last 5 games. He lost the Washington game. I feel like you put that on him. He's just like not playing. The Colts game, Fournette had the 4 touchdowns. They made all the shirts and shit. He lit up Atlanta, but like a lot of people light up Atlanta, and also he's never lost to the Falcons too. Like it's just something where I think Atlanta sees TB12 and they're like, oh shit, this motherfucker again. Like no matter what, he's gonna win MVP, but I don't think he's having a season you're gonna look back at and be like, oh shit.
Well, I just don't think he's the most valuable player to his team. But
if he goes down, I feel like they're done.
Okay.
But that's also a lot of
Let me ask you a question. How many quarterbacks in the NFL with the Bucks, with probably a top 3 offensive line, top 3 skill guys, skill group, top 2 deep line? Granted, they have some issues on the back end, but can we go through the quarterbacks that would take that team to the playoffs?
There's probably like 13 of them, 12, 13.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is tough,
Well,
man.
look, that's
when you
also
watch
one of the big reasons why Brady was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna
go over there."
Yeah.
I just think, when Leonard Fournette last 3 games, 131 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 92 total yards, 1 touchdown, 132 total yards, 1 touchdown. So when your 6th and 7th best weapons are putting up that type of production, it's hard to not kind of lead the league in all these stats. But I don't want to take anything away from him because there's a lot of kind of off the field stuff that I'm sure Brady is not credited for. It's like these guys are probably studying extra hard and at night, and they're really locked in because they know, hey, we got this guy, we got a chance. So there are kind of things under behind the scenes that he does to the other guys. But you just watch Josh Allen, bro. Brady got days in the pocket. Josh Allen got seconds in the pocket, milliseconds, and 300 yards on the ground, 300 yards in the air, 100 on the ground yesterday for Josh Allen. Like, the guy put the fucking team on his back, and I've been saying it for weeks. I think they need more weapons. Like, it's just not enough. They can't put everything on his shoulders. It's just Josh Allen.
Yeah, and if you take away Diggs, it seems like, oof.
Like, everyone loves Dawson Knox. I think he's good, but let's not pretend like, he kind of, I don't want to say Josh Allen made him, but almost like the scheme and the threat of Josh Allen only kind of makes him more dangerous. So, now it's the Matt Breida show. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, dude's been on.
I think the offseason is they're going to bring in maybe 1 or 2 more legit weapons for him because you just can't do too much.
But
he's doing too much.
Nah, I agree with you. Aaron Rodgers, 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Without a week of playing. Kirk Cousins, 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but they got 7 losses. Yeah, no.
Right? So, like, numbers are a little misleading sometimes. Yeah. Herbert might not even make the playoffs. 30 touchdowns. He's second in the league with Matthew Stafford.
I don't know. They have an easier schedule than the Chiefs.
Well, there's a banger this Thursday.
Yeah.
Chargers, Chiefs.
But, Andy Reid on the short week, man. I wonder what his record is.
Well, yeah. It's going to be. And it's also basically a home game, right? Like, I had a friend of mine that went to that Giants game when they played the Chargers. They said, like, 60% of the parking lot was Giants fans, yeah. Matthew Stafford, he don't look like an MVP right now. Rodgers, I think Rodgers, Rodgers probably should be the MVP. Missed the game. I also think people have gotten super sour on him he's had a rough 9 months.
Yeah, with this off the field stuff.
I'm going to host Jeopardy. Trade me. I quit. Fuck the Packers. Get me more weapons. Now he's lovey-dovey. Then he's I can't even say that word. What do you say he was? Immunized?
Immunized.
Yeah, immunized. Yeah, I can't even say that. He said that. Report comes out. He got COVID. He wasn't vaccinated. That fucking gorilla monsoon opens up.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to hold that against him. Despite even if they get the 1 seed, right now he has 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Let's say he gets to 38 touchdowns, 7 picks. I think that's still going to be held against him.
You think it goes to Brady?
I think by default, it goes to Brady. Look, he's having big numbers.
He had the big moment last night.
The game winning. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also his numbers are so ridiculous too.
Yeah. I mean, don't get it twisted. Packers, Rodgers and the Packers did their thing on primetime as well, 4 touchdowns. But
like, yo,
the Bears did everything, bro. Like, special teams touchdowns, trick plays, and they still wound up losing by 15. Like, they scored as many points as you can possibly imagine and come up with, like, without actually scoring, right? They returned the punt or to kick. Can't remember. The other Grant trick play. It's like they got like 14 to 10 like free points almost. And
well, yeah, that Grant play was like super. Remember Dante Hall, bro?
Yeah, the human joystick.
That was like, yo, he's going back. You're like, oh my god, why are you fielding it at the 3? You fucking idiot! Go! And then you're tweeting about it. That's exactly what that play was. Grant's been doing this too. Dude was like,
they got him from Miami in October.
Very electric.
Yeah.
Special teamer kind of thing. But Rodgers just balled out yesterday in that Sunday night game. But I really think, man, like Dak was in the running for MVP, and like he's kind of fizzled out also, just throwing a lot of picks and just a lot of like wacky stuff. He also missed a start too. Like, I really think it's going to come down to
Brady, Rodgers, whoever finishes higher in the standings.
Nah, man, I really think it's just Brady. Like, right now, it's just it's not a fun discussion to have for as much time as we just spent given the case for other players. Kyler Murray can't win it because
the injuries, and they won without him.
You missed 3 games, bro.
And they went 2-1 or 2-3-0.
They went 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah, they lost to Carolina at home, right? Like, what?
I mean, eventually,
WTF loss.
Eventually, your luck runs out
with the backup. But I just think, Imp, that Brady's gonna win MVP, and I'm not like comfortable giving it to him.
I don't blame you. It's
lost to the Saints, lost to Washington. All right, you lost to the Rams, but the Rams at the time, that was a big game. Stafford at home, first big
before the injuries.
Before the injuries, yeah. It's just a weird one. Like last year, you could remember every MVP and be like, yo, you know what? They had a wild season, right? Like even Matt Ryan that year, he won MVP. They went all the way to the Super Bowl. And yeah, postseason success doesn't determine whether you win the MVP or not. One of the big issues I have with the NBA, it's like, hey, man, why do we give the MVP out the conference finals 2 months after the season? And then you give it to Giannis and he gets bounced by Miami. You're like, yo, he's not the MVP. Like, why are you doing that shit? Where it's like, right when the season ends, don't wait until Super Bowl weekend. Give out the award. Let's get it going. Most of these guys are on bye weeks anyway, for the most part.
It makes sense.
But, yeah, man. I just think it's going to be Brady, and I just can't think of – it's a difficult one.
They could also just give the award to Joe Burrow.
Nah, you can't give it to Burrow either.
Nah, I was just joking.
Yeah, nah, they might not make the playoffs either.
He crushed yesterday, though. PFF's highest graded quarterback.
Played well. Chase, too, finally came out of that slump.
She telling me I traded for him in fantasy, and it was bad. It looked bad last week.
That's right.
It looked bad last week. Kittle?
The only person I could think of that might have a chance at the MVP?
Jimmy G.
Nah, bro.
He was electric last night in overtime.
No, but, like, what about Mahomes?
Yeah.
If they win out.
Yeah.
It's the reason why I bet him when I bet him. Right? The preseason favorite got him at 20-1. His numbers are 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. If they run the table, they end the season on a 10-game winning streak.
And the crazy thing is if they run the table, it'll be because of the defense.
Yeah.
Last 5 games, 9-9-9, 14-7, 13 sacks, and 15 turnovers.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think the biggest story in the NFL that doesn't get enough attention is their defense.
The Chiefs traded for
Melvin Ingram.
And ever since.
A few things happen, right? So Melvin Ingram comes in.
Jones goes back inside.
Frank Clark is there, in and out the lineup. Hey, Sorensen, you can't cover shit.
Thornwell,
why don't you go back there? Let's move Sorensen, who's a really good tackler. Let's move him closer to the box, stack the box, kind of.
If you need him.
Right? Because you are an important piece of our defense. Like, dude was making plays when they won the Super Bowl, too, and made a play last week. Where
they can probably just split time depending on coverage, maybe, or whatever.
Yeah, let Honey Badger do his thing where, like, guys always by the ball, bro.
Yeah.
Just always making plays. And then, look, they've also established a little bit of a running game, too.
Andy Reid now stands alone in franchise history with the most consecutive 9 or more win seasons in Chiefs history. It's his 9th season in Kansas City. So if I understand that correctly, he's won 9 games or more every season he's been there. I have the you played yourself moment of the week.
Holla at me.
It's the Raiders doing a pregame huddle on the Chiefs logo, and then they went down 35-0. You played yourself.
Congrats. Yeah.
What are you doing? I was all over
They were yapping. We beat them last year in Arrowhead. What's up? Yeah.
I was all over the under in that game because their wind was so bad that, Derek Carr loves the floaty deep ball. That wasn't working yesterday. I mean, nothing was working yesterday, really.
But I think the Chiefs covered the over on its own, no?
Yeah. Pick 6, this, that. Pick 6? Fumble recovery 6? Fumble recovery 6.
Right when the game started, too. It was like the first handoff to Jacobs. Bro, their defense is playing legit, man.
Also, Josh Gordon sighting.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Got him a touchdown. Got his confidence back. I'm excited for this Thursday.
Yeah.
Because, look, You're doing what you got to do, right? You're taking care of business.
Yeah.
However, let's not get it twisted. They haven't really played a lot of juggernauts at quarterback and offenses. All right, let's talk about this win streak. They play the Giants.
This is the Chiefs win streak?
Yeah.
Yeah. Primetime Giants.
Primetime Giants. Non-Aaron Rodgers Packers, you hold them to 7. Shut down the Cowboys. I'll give you that. Absolutely.
On the road, no, or at home?
No. It was in Kansas City. I'll give you that. Shut down the Broncos. Congrats. A lot of weapons, but in the end, it's Teddy Bridgewater for me. I think you did what you did to Carr. Now, you got my boy coming in. And did you see that throw he made yesterday?
Yeah.
Bro.
He got cracked?
Yo, just 65 yards on a string. Perfect in stride.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good game. Young quarterback, rookie head coach, short week. They lost the first game.
Chiefs lost the first
That's
game.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think the Chiefs could pull this one out.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that too, but I'm
probably gonna start the parlays on Thursday this week.
Yeah, Chiefs.
You got to think, right? I mean, it's just one of those things. Extra time to prepare.
Well, if this game was an Arrowhead, they'd be a 9-point favorite.
Not extra time to prepare, less time to prepare. Sorry.
Right. Would you take them as a 9-point favorite? Right now, Chargers Chiefs in Kansas City. If this game was in Kansas City, because what this line is telling you, with the Chiefs being a 3-point favorite on the road, you add 6.
Yep.
And you put them at home. Would you still take them? My answer is no, because there's not a quarterback in the league
that you will give a touchdown to now
that I want to be catching more than a touchdown than Justin Herbert.
Yeah. The only question is like, the Chiefs can keep scoring. So if they have a lead, it's not one of those things where it's like they can hold them and come back.
Yeah.
I worry about the Chargers defense being able to. Okay, it's a different story if they get a lead. It's can the Chargers stop the Chiefs for them to come back? I see 4 points.
Oh, it's a 4-point line.
Chargers at home, 4.
So then they'd be a 10-point favorite in Kansas City.
I'd probably buy a point right now and just go Chiefs minus 3.
Look, man, this is if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm watching this game and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to Denver. Let me stay away from this.
Yeah.
Let me just stay in Green Bay. How about that?
Or Pittsburgh. We're going to do an episode of all of the quarterback openings.
Yeah, for sure. But again, like, why would you, even if you're Russell Wilson, right? Like, Russell Wilson, another name that's floated around. Why would you want to go there? For as good as you are, bro, you just got to play those guys twice. Like, everything needs to go well for you to win your division. High possibility you're probably going to be a wild card team in that division with those guys.
Yeah.
What?
That team is so good, though. Denver, at least.
Yeah, Denver.
That's another team, 7-6. They trade their best player away, and look.
Bro, we didn't even talk about the Demaryius Thomas stuff, man.
It's so sad. I mean, a couple things I wanted to get to. Niners, Bengals.
Yeah, can I just tell you a quick story about Demaryius Thomas? We're watching the what game was it? Oh, the Thursday night game, because he passed away on Thursday. Thursday night, I'm texting the group chat because the Steelers were playing the Vikings, and they throw a screen on a 2-point conversion to Deontay Johnson. And I write in the chat, I go, yo, I hate wide receiver screens. Shout out to you. Remember you used to run the wide receiver screen pass in Madden?
The fake throw?
And you would always run it with Devin Hester, you piece of shit. You used to, yo, what play was worse? That play or when I would run option with
option and Madden ruined the game. Why did they put, I mean, now the option's back in
that shit was ahead of its time. Madden 08, Vince Young on the cover. I used to put Vince Young in at quarterback. They had a running back named Henry. Not Derrick Henry, but he was like 97 speed. And I would put him in. He was like a 69 overall. And I would just run option.
We used to shift the D line to go to.
Bodied all my friends in that. But the reason why I bring that up is because I never saw a team run a wide receiver screen consistently that effective besides when the Broncos were running with Demaryius Thomas.
Why, right? Because Peyton Manning couldn't throw the ball down the field.
Sure.
I'm joking around.
Sure, but he was also like, Peyton Manning said, he's like, yo, I never played with a wide receiver like him. He was a big reason why I went to Denver. Think about like those teams early on, bro. Julius Thomas,
Decker,
Wes Welker too. Like they had some ballers. And then like an hour after I send out that text is when that report comes out that he passed away.
In the fucking shower.
Yeah.
Cardiac arrest.
And then the Broncos this weekend, last drive, 88-yard game-winning drive.
And also they fucking, when they picked the ball off, he put the ball, Justin Simmons on the diving pick, put the ball down right there. He's right there. That's crazy. Yeah. George Kittle.
What about him?
That's it.
Yo.
Nothing to say other than just George Kittle.
Imagine if you had George Kittle and Chris Godwin on your fantasy team the last 2 weeks. Godwin has 25 catches in the last 2 weeks. Going off.
I have Kittle on one team.
Kittle going bananas.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because earlier in the season he didn't do great. Then then it turns out that he's hurt, right? Mm-hmm. The bye week comes and then he just turned up. I think Travis Kelce tweeted something yesterday. Kittle top one, and I'm not talking about the catch. Top 1 of 1, and I'm not talking about the catch. So he's saying Kittle's the best in the league, and I mean, obviously it's so tough because I would say like Kelce is more of a receiving threat than Kittle, and Kittle's no slouch from that department, but Kittle's such a great blocker. He just fits the Niners offense, what they do so well. You know what I mean? So I don't want to have this conversation, but last 2 games, Kittle, 9 receptions, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 13 receptions, 151, 1 touchdown, which was yesterday. So, 230-ish yards, 22 receptions and change, and 3 touchdowns. It's crazy, man. It's his 4th 150-yard, 1 touchdown game. He tied with Shannon Sharp for the most by a touchdown in NFL history already. So, I just want to shout him out, and that last overtime drive shows you why Shanahan is elite. It shows you why he's one of the best minds in the game. They're 7-6. They're in the playoffs. And Jimmy G somehow was perfect in overtime. 6 of 6, 77 yards, and a touchdown to Ayuk, who was finally starting to play well too. So things are trending in the right direction for San Francisco. I really wanted to touch on that, and it's tough for the Bengals.
Yeah, bad loss for the Bengals at home. I thought that line was a mistake all week, them being an underdog at home. Thought they would bounce back.
Well, now does it make sense, I guess?
I mean, yeah, it's easier to say now, but at the time...
You take the bet every day.
Yeah, I would make that bet again.
Yeah.
And look, the Niners, the way that overtime played out...
Why did the Bengals not go for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That, hell of a point. I feel that you should go for it in that scenario because if you kick the field goal, if they come down and score a touchdown...
You lose.
You lose. Now the argument could be like, yo, if I kick the field goal and then I stop them, I win. So there is a counter to that.
They just gashed him. They just gashed him the entire drive.
But you were hot, though, there.
Yes.
Like, you were carving them up, right? Like, if your offense, when the Ravens did it 2 weeks ago against the Steelers, I liked the balls of the call, but it wasn't like Lamar had 400 yards and was carving them up.
I see what you're saying.
You get what you know what I mean? Like, you're almost lucky to be in that scenario. Yeah, you're trying to steal it, which I get and I love it. However, Joe Burrow was just lighting them up.
Yeah.
Like, why not continue to go with that?
Yeah. And it's like put the ball in the hands of your best player.
Yeah.
Like, that's the Lamar thing. Is like you do that every time. To win the game, you need 2 yards.
Right. And I also like that the way the overtime played out where, old school overtime, the Bengals win that game because they got the ball first and kicked the field goal. You need to give the other team a chance to answer.
Yeah.
I don't like it when a team... Now, what happened in the Bucks and Bills game, I'm cool with. Both teams got the ball first, whatever. But if Buffalo was to go down and score first, game ends, I don't like that, man. Mm-hmm. Give the offense a chance to answer back. You score a touchdown, cool. Now it's sudden death.
Yeah.
But the idea that, like, yo, Brady, in that scenario, I'm going to take a loss because we didn't call tails.
It's terrible.
It's a terrible ruling.
Yeah.
I don't like it. What else you got, man?
Just Jamar Chase. There's 4 rookies since the NFL AFL merger. There's been 4 rookie receivers, to eclipse 1,000 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. Can you name?
I think I can name all of them.
All 4. One of them's older. So if you can give me 3 of the modern guys, that's fire.
Right. Odell?
Yes.
Randy?
Yep, 2.
Is that the older one? Is that the oldest of the bunch?
No.
There's one prior to him?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're not gonna. I didn't know this guy.
Odell, Randy Moss. Jefferson.
How did you know that?
Justin Jefferson?
No. His name is John Jefferson.
Oh, nah. I can't take credit for that. I was going Justin Jefferson. He didn't score double-digit touchdowns last year? Justin Jefferson?
I'm almost positive he didn't. But maybe he didn't get 1,000 yards.
Nah, bro. He was second in the league in receiving yards last year. Hold on.
StatMuse killed me?
I got it right now. Let me see. 20. Oh, 7 touchdowns.
He had 7. Jamar Jefferson.
He combined the two. Justin Jefferson, yeah.
7, okay.
Okay, but he had 1,400 yards.
What are the odds? This guy named John Jefferson.
So that's the old head?
He was like he's like an all-pro. He had a great career.
Bro, keep it a buck. Never heard of him.
If I'm not mistaken, he was a Packers guy and a Chargers guy.
Jefferson, NFL. So this guy had a rookie season
like
where he had over 1,000 yards
10
and 10
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
And then there's one more modern guy. I'll give it to you. You may not get it. Mike Evans.
Wouldn't have guessed that. No.
Yeah. So Jamar Chase is.
You know who I was gonna say? Honestly, Larry Fitzgerald. I would have guessed Larry Fitz.
Those Cardinal teams earlier on were bad though.
Yeah.
10 seats. The thing is, it's 10 touchdowns.
Yeah. So
1,000 yards. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but in garbage time, you pick those things.
Now being 1,000-yard running back is like 57 yards a game
because of the extra game. Yeah.
So it's really not.
But now, yeah, Jamar 2 TDs yesterday. Could have been 3. He dove into the end zone and he didn't come down with one. But it's clear that was the right pick. You're right. Like when you're kind of in great company like that and you're setting these records, like. It just makes sense. Like the pick doesn't look as bad, when you're reaching for. I hate to say reach, but T. Higgins had like 120 receiving yards yesterday as well.
He's been coming along.
They have a lot of great weapons, so this is one of those situations where it was a luxury pick, but it fucking worked. You know what I mean? To me, I think you can't criticize these picks. Like, could they have used the O lineman? Yeah, but I'm just saying it's worked out.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's criticizing this pick anymore, though.
It could have been criticized, I guess.
Sure, but I think what you said, what we said after like the first 8 weeks, we were like, yo, bro, if we just go back in time and just
think about what we said.
Just grab someone that doesn't know football and you're like, hey, man, the college quarterback.
who they broke all these records.
Now they're going to play together in the NFL, and they don't really have a receiver like him, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, T. Higgins is a dope pick, dope wide receiver.
Boyd is the best 3 receiver in the league.
But, yeah.
He's a 2 anywhere else, probably.
Gallup. I would say Gallup.
I guess, maybe.
And then...
Don't say Darius Slayton or Shepard.
Nah. I'm done with them, bro.
Good,
Fire
good.
everybody.
I'm tired of that because I used to have to sit here and be like, yo, Giants, best roster? I used to just look around. Yo, bro, Giants weapons, put them up against anybody in the league. I'll just be looking around. Like, I don't care how good Shepard is. The guy can't stay on the field. I don't care how good Galladay is. The guy can't stay on the field. Like,
massive L. L.
But anyway,
I'll take that.
No,
but I don't think anyone's criticizing that pick anymore.
Yeah, I just Debo, and then just real quick, Debo Samuel, 6 rushing touchdowns.
The number 1 back on the Niners.
I mean, that's Shanahan for you. Get creative.
How about this? You know what's a fascinating discussion to have, and we'll end on this one?
What?
Offensive Player of the Year. Cup. Justin Jefferson. Debo Samuel. Jonathan Taylor. Because I do feel like Offensive Player of the Year doesn't go to QB.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, you're going to give the MVP to the quarterback, right? Who would you pick there?
Depending on what happens in the last month or so.
Oh, yeah, no shit, bro. I'm telling you
probably
right
Jonathan
now.
Taylor, I think.
Man, it's crazy.
Debo thing is interesting. The problem with Debo is because he has all these rushing yards, I think it's going to kind of...
Nah, bro, but he's like top 10 in receiving, too.
Yeah, well, like, how many catches does he have?
Probably like 12.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he does have a small... Nah, I think... All right, let's go. I got it right now. Receiving. If you had to guess, how many do you think he has? I think like 60.
All right. I swear I haven't looked yet.
Okay.
I'm on his reference page, but I didn't look.
Okay.
If I had to guess, and I have him in 2 fantasy teams.
Okay.
40 catches.
No.
More?
More, but I said 60, very close to 60.
58?
57.
Okay.
But 1,000 yards.
Well, how many carries? Sorry. Yeah. How many carries?
Carries. I'm going to have to actually click on the profile here.
All right, never mind. I can figure it out.
No, I got it right now. All right, carries this year. Well, the last couple weeks,
he has 33 total.
So he has close to like 90 plus touches, which I like because he's a playmaker, right? So let's just get the ball in his hands at least.
30, yeah, so he has 250 rushing yards too. So if you combine the rushing and receiving and rushing, how many?
Yo, the craziest thing was
he already has 1,300 yards in scrimmage.
He would get like 6 targets a game, but he'd catch all 6 for like $1.60.
Yeah, there's nothing better than the Debo slant to the house or the little in route
like
that he
drag,
just takes.
Yeah.
Debo or Jonathan Taylor with a slight lean to Jonathan Taylor.
No Cooper Kupp, bro.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to.
100 catches.
Has it cooled off at all over the last few weeks, or no? We're just getting used to it.
I mean, cool off as far as like, yeah, he's not putting up 12 for 160, but he's in the 12 games he's played, 11 of them he's seen double-digit targets. Last week, 8 for 129 and a touchdown. The week before, 7 for 96. Week before that, 11 for 122. Week before that, 11 for 95. And then it's just like the chaos.
Yeah, he has
150.
He has 11 touchdowns already. And he's 100 receptions already.
Yeah, 100 receptions over. Well, he hasn't even played tonight, too. They're playing tonight prior to us recording.
1,400 yards. Give it to him. 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 100 receptions already. Yeah.
I think it might be him, bro.
How many receiving yards did Debo have? 1,200?
Debo is, I believe, second in the league in yards. I got it right now. Hold on. It's just updating. 1,366 for Cooper Kupp. And then, actually, Debo has 1,028. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in the league.
And he missed a game.
Yes.
With the groin ski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, 57. So, here's the thing,
right?
The
thing is, he also has a fucking six catches of 40-plus yards.
So, also this, right? Look at this. The top 7, these are the catches that these guys have had. 100, 85, 90, 92, 90, 60 Jamar Chase, Debo 57. So, he's like double. 40 catches behind Cooper Kupp.
He has double the amount of catches. Pretty roughly. Like,
yeah.
Loose.
And he's only 350 yards behind them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you sold me.
But I do think I'd probably say Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
But again, still got you got 4 games left.
The last thing to just say here real quick is Micah Parsons could win Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year. I'm kidding. He's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but, I mean, 12 sacks on the year.
Yeah.
2.5 away from the rookie record, 17 tackles for loss, which leads the league. I mean, it's a slam dunk rookie of the year, and then he has no chance to catch Garrett or Watt, but I just think he's having an unbelievable season and he's playing like multiple positions.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday he made a pass breakup like 40 yards downfield, which was wild. I don't think it's that ridiculous of a take to have. Especially if you factor in, like, don't forget, bro, all these awards are narrative-based.
Yeah.
So if the Cowboys, who still have a chance to be the top seed, despite how little shaky it's gotten, 3-3 in the last 6 games.
Yeah, now they get to just coast into the playoffs because they won the division already.
Pretty much with that win over Washington. Things really you need to lose out.
No, they're good. They're done, I think.
Yeah. So think about how bad the Dallas defense was last year. Last couple of years, it hasn't been like this.
Yeah.
You add him into the mix, and now you're a top 10, 12-ish defense.
Yeah.
I think that comes into it. But, it's hard with Watt missing some games, too, and putting up the numbers he's putting up.
And also, like, if they don't, they're not going to make the playoffs. And I know that doesn't matter as much, but I do think, like, I think to me it's a different narrative if, like, Watt and the defense carry the Steelers into the playoffs. Big Ben is falling, literally falling apart as we speak, right? Like that. I think that hits a little bit different. Like that, the defense is the reason they're in the playoffs.
But I also feel like the voter has his own biases too. Like you strike me as someone where you would weigh heavily playoff implications in awards,
or just like team success.
Team success, yes.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't give a Jacksonville Jaguars player defensive player of the year if there was a candidate. Imagine if TJ Watt was doing what he's doing now, but on Jacksonville.
You can't get it.
You're not giving it, right?
Because you're not impacting winning.
Right.
Which, I mean, granted, you're impacting the game, but you're not winning.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad thing
to say.
But I'm saying that there's two schools of thought when it comes to giving out awards.
Perfect segue. Stat of the day. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions today.
Bro.
That's the most he's thrown in a game through high school, college, and the NFL. That's the most he's thrown in a game. It's also the first time that he's been shut out in his life.
Right. Oh, this is the pros, bro.
Yeah.
This ain't Maryland. This ain't NC State. This is NFL teams. There ain't no accountants.
What are the ACC? What are the other ACC schools?
The U, your boys. I know you're on the U.
Mario, Papo, Mario Cristobal. Miami's back. I tweeted it out. I'm officially a fan of the Miami Hurricanes football team, and I've explained it perfectly. There's no team for me anywhere close within an hour. There's no.
Yeah, we don't have no big time universities here.
So I'm heavily involved in the city of Miami, and through some of the content that I listen to, and so why not?
That's our spot.
And also exactly. So now give us a reason to go.
Yeah.
Maybe now we go for a Miami home game against FSU.
You hit the bottom of that table, right?
So I'm in. I don't know if you want to join me. You want to be a U fan?
Nah, I'm with LSU, bro.
All right.
Because the Legends Bar. However, if you ever need a +1 and go into the 305, I'm in.
All right. So yeah. So
But yo, back to Trevor Lawrence. It's been rough.
First time he's ever been shut out in his life.
It's been rough. It's been ugly. I mean, those graphics have been surfacing of him and Gardner Minshew, right? Same shit he was dealing with.
Yeah, probably the same time they've played already, right? Like
yeah, roughly the same amount
same
of
sample
games.
size. Yeah.
But yo, what do you think, man?
I think it's too soon. I think all of the rookies have looked bad, so I think it's still soon. I'll say this. I've said it from the beginning, bro. Urban Meyer, just like, I mean, I probably say it on this podcast every week. The offense is just terrible. Like, they got shut out. They didn't even score anything yesterday. And James Robinson finishes the game with like 8 carries. It's like, Urban Meyer got to go.
Yo, you know what I think Jacksonville needs?
I wrote it. I know the Jaguars' next head coach. You could tell me what you were going to say.
I was going to say not what Jacksonville needs, what the Jaguars need.
What?
To leave Jacksonville.
Got it. I mean, the new owner has a lot of money, and he's spending it.
Like a fresh start somewhere else.
Like a Louisville Jaguars. There's some of those secondary cities, those big cities. But wait, I have the new coach. I'm coming home. Who?
Oh, I know where you go with Byron Leftwich. Wow.
Slam dunk. State of Florida. Not that that's a big deal, but he literally coaches down the road.
Yeah. Well, that's a longer road.
But
well, no, actually not.
On 95, right?
Yeah.
Oh, probably not. Anyway, he's not that it really matters that much, but he knows, like, he's from the area, so there's not that much of a culture shock. And they need an offensive coach.
Yeah.
A modern, I think Byron Leftwich, Trevor Lawrence could be a nice little duo. So you need the offensive mind, someone young, and someone that played for the team. Coming home.
You know what else I think, man? I don't know if I would ever hire a college coach to be an NFL head coach. There are exceptions. Absolutely. However, in college, you get the players you want because you recruit them. And then also, if you're a dick, like Nick Saban is very hard on his players, right? Remember there was a run from like 2012 to 2017 where every Alabama player came in with like a torn rotator cuff or a blown out knee or some shit. And it's because the practices, former players would say, yo, they're harder than the games. Like Nick Saban is really like...
Yeah, because they're the best team.
It's all 5-star recruits everywhere, right? All right. If you're a player and you go there and like your coach is a dick, at least you could look at your boys and be like, yo, man, let's deal with this dude for another 2-3 years and then we're out.
Yeah.
In the NFL, it's a business. You can't be all like rah-rah and shit with professional athletes. I think it's a different approach. Look at Matt Rule. Kind of a little shaky over there.
Yeah.
Now you can say Kingsbury, but it's been a while with Kingsbury now.
They've gotten better every year.
They've gotten better every year. So there are exceptions.
Yeah.
But to me, man, it was just a weird, because also Kingsbury's a young dude.
That's another thing I was
30s.
just gonna say. I think it's a little bit easier of a sell when the younger coach, if it is a college guy, at least he could probably come in and relate to the players a little bit better. It's like, hey, look, I may not have, the 20 years of football experience that, this old schmuck has, but we watch the same TV shows and we maybe go to the same bars, right? Like, there's just elements of being able to relate, or we're at similar parts in our lives. Like Cliff Kingsbury, if I'm not mistaken, is probably at the same age as, or close to the same age as some of those veterans on the team. So it's those personal lives things, right? Maybe the kid having a kid or dealing with some of that shit, right? Like, I just think you made a great point. Being able to relate to the younger coach, I think, would help. Also, someone that maybe had NFL experience, went to college, and then is going back, I can see in a situation. I think like Pete Carroll. Was that the Pete Carroll situation?
Yeah.
Struggled in the NFL, went to college, dynasty, came back to the NFL, did great. So I hear you, and I'm with you. I think, but depending on the certain situations. But I agree.
Yeah, but the age also, I think that's a hell of a point. I didn't think about that. Right? Like, why would I want a first-time NFL head coach who's in his 60s? Is that ageist? Is that even a thing?
No, I don't think it's ageist, but I do think like there's an element of being able to relate to the players now more than ever.
Yeah, like I would want if I'm an owner of a team or a GM, I'm looking at the landscape of college football, and I can pick a coach. Lincoln Riley was heavily rumored to the Cowboys for a little bit. Yeah, Lincoln Riley's like under 45, might be under 40.
I think he is.
I'd rather get that guy to come coach my NFL team as opposed to like, this is going to sound crazy, but Nick Saban now, 66, 67?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know if I would want that.
I agree completely.
Trevor Lawrence bust?
Nah, too early.
Too early, yeah. I'm with you.
But I think that's the right move for Lincoln Riley, USC. Barely any competition out there. You don't have to go to the SEC. You could just bring USC back.
Yeah.
And then dominate, and then you go to the NFL. And by the way, you're getting paid more than anybody. Like, they're trying to criticize him because he went to California, and there's a lot of property tax and income taxes, and he would have gotten paid more if he stayed in Oklahoma. Okay, but who cares? I want to go to USC. I want to chill in Southern California. I could get an NFL job whenever I want. I'm not ready yet. Let me just chill for a couple more years. Dominate the Pac-10, Pac-12? Pac-10? Pac-12?
Pac-12.
Pac-12. Dominate the Pac-12.
Yo,
chill.
Bro, like, you wouldn't take less money to be in a better environment.
100%. A bajillion percent.
And we're talking like we're broke compared to like that, right? Like,
yeah.
Lincoln Riley had made his money. But, yeah, I'd be for it. 70 degrees all year round in LA and shit.
He's also so young. He's thinking about his next move. That's the difference. When you're 60-something years old, you're probably just unfortunately only thinking about the here and now, which I totally understand, at least in the coaching perspective, not your life. You're 60, 65. It's like, how many jobs do I have left? Mm-hmm. Lincoln Riley's 38, one of the brightest minds in college football. I know the NFL's there. Let me see what else I could do before I get there.
Leave a little bit of a legacy, get some money, stay in a nice place.
They're buying his houses. They're doing this. It's